Ho, 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 ho.
At Christmas time, there's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we bail in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. Wrap your arms around the world. It's Remington.
Is that it?
Merry Christmas. Hello, everybody.
Ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen. With a hint of bar humbug for Mr. Remington and his technical difficulties tonight, which, wouldn't you have guessed it, all boils down to the fact that his computer wasn't actually plugged in.
Well, can
This
happen.
happened last year as well, man.
Remington versus technology is an ongoing struggle for supremacy, and I don't think anyone's really coming out on top at the moment. It's a war of attrition.
Yes, good thing you didn't call a technician and he would just plug it in and charge you $100.
I know. Well, I had Andy there.
Yeah, that would be classic REM. And you'd wonder where all the energy in your home was traveling to. And it's all like you've got 18 different connections going into that one PC that's running Warhammer Total War 24 hours a day.
Hey, that was a private channel, man. It's nearly true, though. I've been going a bit crazy with that.
As you can see, we're all in a very festive mood tonight. We've got some wonderful festive danglage, nice and sparkly, going on behind me. Look at that. It dazzles, it excites. It's the Andy and Rem Show Christmas special, obviously. Of course, the Remster's there, and our special guest for this evening is, who some might say is the most festive wargaming YouTuber around. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, but it has been quoted by several on occasion. We have, of course, Driddy. Hello.
Oh, hi. Am I festive? Do I still count as a special guest at this point? Or am I just a person that is there?
Well, I think you'd be more festive if you still had your Halloween decorations up.
Yeah, maybe. I actually have a little nativity scene set up down here. I think you can't really see it. I used to have it on my monitor, but I just changed my small monitor for my TV, which is really big. And I can't put my nativity scene with my beholder on top of it, so yeah.
Well,
I'm also decorated myself, as people can see. It's pulling my hair out every time I'm moving my headset, but it's worth it.
We'll see what lasts longer, that or this ultra itchy, decade-old Santa beard. Probably full of all kinds of Christmas critters. Okay, speaking of Christmas critters, let's see who's in the audience tonight, shall we? On the fabled active users list. Some people have been in there for the last half hour waiting for Mr. Remington to get his Christmas spirit together. So we have Andrew Wade, Bazooka J Rambo, Dark Adrenaline, Demon _Lizard _ from _ outer _ Josh Joyce, Mickey Jenber, Tropia TV, Rob Lloyd, Sweet, Ruhak, Sean Blake, Wayne Caitlin, among others. I can see a couple more names pop up there. So, how's everyone doing over this holiday season, as they say?
Is it a holiday when you're just when you have to be with your family all the time?
It's a kind of holiday.
And we want to be on your own for a bit, but you can't. Feels like work a bit. So
it's the giving and receiving of gifts and spending quality time with your family, cracking nuts over an open fire, and so forth.
Okay, well, I did that, so can I have a holiday now? What I really mean is, can I have about 12 hours a day just to, paint some models, catch up with stuff? You know what I mean? Do some
Is that
video.
in addition to the 18 hours a day you're getting in on Total War?
It's so bloody addictive. It's like, all right, just one more little turn. Every turn, there's another twist in the story.
When you teaching some of your relatives to play the guitar recently?
I think they were giving me a lesson, actually. I was recording with my dad yesterday, and he's a classical guitarist, flamenco guitarist. So he's come out of retirement to record well, an album really. So I sat for about 5 hours recording him, and I put one up on my personal Facebook channel, and within minutes it had 300 views or something. It was incredible, and he was sitting there saying, "Oh, I'd really like to do a gig," so he did a live one.
Yeah, but all that time you could have honed your Vermintide skills together with us, because we're playing at the same time, but you didn't want to.
Yeah, I was meant to, but then that happened, and I got back, and then I had to save Athel Lauren from the bloody dwarves attacking and betraying my trust, and I had to start pretty much all over again in my Wood Elf Total War campaign, which is phenomenal. It's really difficult, but it's good.
I've heard the Wood Elves is a very difficult campaign. I haven't got it yet. Soon.
Do you know what? Playing each race on Total War, it makes me want to buy the models. So I now want to buy some Wild Riders. It's the way around it is just to actually play a new race, and you forget about the one you wanted. So as long as that can last, I'll be okay, I think.
Keep switching to a new race every few days, just so you don't get too obsessed with one of them, and start placing multiple hundreds of pounds worth of orders.
So what's the news? We got any news?
Well, we do have some.
I've heard some rumours.
We've got some news. We've got some releases, and we've got some. I wouldn't really call them leaks if GW are releasing these leaks themselves blatantly, not like before where they would just kind of subtly leak it out in a way that you didn't know it was meant to be out there, but they're actually shoving it right in your face now. So while we're looking at that, anyone in the audience, let us know if you've got any special hobby or wargaming themed Christmas plans. Christmas dinner doesn't count unless you're waging war on top of it.
I wonder if anyone's ever done a Christmas, a Christmas gaming board.
I think there have been a few around. I have at least seen people having tiny Christmas trees, in special scenarios. I actually have one here.
I've seen Christmas-themed armies as well.
A high-quality Christmas tree for a gaming table. Very festive, very appropriate.
Oak of Ages, that, couldn't it?
No.
Yeah. I mean, a whole table might be a bit too much work for just one day or evening a year.
Like Santa's grotto. But rivals around this.
Oh, yes. Okay. So can anyone tell me what the original price of the Island of Blood was?
I would hazard a guess that last time it was available, it would have been around about 60. But of course, you get less in here, I would assume. I mean, let's see. Does it mention?
I think that's the original. What you get originally, but with round
you don't get dice, you don't get measuring sticks or anything like that. It's just the book and the miniatures. Although you do get more bases. Apparently, you get square bases and round bases as well.
Oh, interesting choice on GW's side there.
I would assume they still have a lot of square bases that they're never going to use for anything else, so they might as well throw them in there with it.
Now you don't.
Still a weird choice.
You don't see the Troll Slayer in there, do you? Do you remember there used to be a Troll Slayer in there? Or am I thinking of a different game? Yeah,
different game. Thinking of what was the other one called? Battle of Skull Pass.
It's this hat. It's like
too tight.
That Orc War Boss wears on the Wyvern, and it sends him a bit mad. Hashtag the slaughter. So I just take it off a bit. There you go. Okay.
You could do that.
Well,
I just expected you to be bald under it right now, but
in honor of madness, let's have some 360s, shall we? Something he's very familiar with himself.
360s. That's what to talk about at the end of the year show, isn't it? I might even do a 360 for you.
Oh God, I think you can save that for your own channel.
Now this is a phenomenal mini, isn't it?
Have any of these got new paint jobs? Do we know?
I don't know. This one looks like the old one. There might be more purple in there, but I'm really not sure.
If anyone knows if these are new paint jobs at all, or if they're just the same slapped on new bases, let us know.
So have they got new names? Because this used to be called a Reaver, didn't it?
Well, why don't we have a look? High Warden, Archmage, Swordmasters, Spire Guard, and Reavers. Now, Spire Guard, I think, is a new name.
Spire Guard? What's that for? Is that like an archer?
Spire Guard, are they presumably these guys?
Oh, what used to be Sea Guard?
Yes, the Sea Guard, I imagine, have become the Spire Guard now. Skaven, Let's see if they had any changes. Warlord, Engineer, Packmaster,
All the same.
Clan Rats, Rat Ogres now, which is
yeah.
a huge change there. And of course, let's have a look at some rats here. Rat Ogres.
Yeah,
That's
these are cool.
Ogre. Get it right, ladies and gentlemen.
They look so much better on round bases. Those were really nice models before, but the round bases just really, like, they just make them look more bulky, more brutal for some reason.
Right.
Someone just commented, Mr. Remington, that your eyebrows look the same, and I told them you were busy waxing them before the show, and that explained part of your delayed arrival. So,
Well, do you know what I did do? I did do before the show. I thought I'd have a little shave, a trim with this like trimmer I've got, and then I did one side of the moustache, and then the batteries ran out, and then I had to go out. So,
oh dear. Well, the one thing you've got to do is make sure, while shaving with any kind of electric device, make sure you do it evenly in multiple thin coats, like Duncan would if he was painting your face.
I don't think he can shave yet, can he, Duncan?
I'm not sure whether Duncan is old enough to shave yet.
Yes.
I don't know. He must have years of painting experience, or should I say years of stealing painting techniques under his belt.
This is true.
So, we've got more to look at now. Are you ready for some hardcore Age of Sigmar juicy goodness?
No.
We've been scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we've been provided with a whole new barrel. Look at this.
Dun, dun,
Disciples of Tzeentch. Bam, 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 bam. Now, they're actually doing a live thing on Twitch tomorrow, which will be interesting. They're obviously going to give out more info on the Disciples of Tzeentch.
There better be scuttlings.
Now that must
would
be
be
a good
nice.
feeling, right? To punch your hole through one of those infuriating men with wings.
It must be the old Ogroid Thaumaturge looking guy there.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
look at this. Bird goats. Dun, 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 dun.
Right, so where's this? Where did you get this from, Andy?
Well, this was at the end of a Warhammer TV video, and people kindly screen capped it and posted it all over the internet.
Yes, 0.1 seconds of this picture in the video.
Yeah, you could pause the video and see this. So it's not exactly like we're breaking any ground here. This is a GW leaked image.
So, well, it looks like a little bit of a Skaven-y guy on that disc, doesn't he? He's got sort of a Skaven helmet on.
He does have a hint of rat about him, doesn't he, with those horns?
Also, it's the horns, but it's
A
a really
bit of a horned rat look.
Yeah, and the acolytes. If you look, there's not that much of an intricate paint job on those, which in this case I kind of like, because the ones that you get in the Silver Tower are amazing, and they're so good that it's quite a challenge to paint them, I think. But those ones look like you could, fairly quickly you could get a regiment out of them,
I do like the Zangors, or the goat birds, as we're calling them. Not entirely sure about these guys, but I think it is just the paint scheme.
But you see the guys in the distance, they look like they're flying on discs.
You've got a lot of guys on discs there.
I like
And some of them, there's one with a bow there. Look at that.
Right, that could be cool.
Very, very Tzeentchy indeed. And we've got another image here. And he's got some kind of bird here growing out of his arm, which is a blatant rip-off of the Forest of REM.
This is true, man. In fact, it looks a little bit like a carrion from the Tomb Kings, doesn't it? But a smaller version.
It's interesting paint scheme they've gone for on this bird as well, with the purple and the green.
Yeah, it's like Tomb Kings and Beastmen mixed together.
So are you interested then? Because obviously you're a Beastmen fanatic.
No.
Do these not grab you by the Christmas danglers?
No, there's something a bit dirty about Beastmen that I like. You know what I mean? Something a bit more primal.
I mean, you could paint them a bit more filthy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because they've got really nice, intricate armor. I don't know. I'd have to wait and see. I'm on a wood elf tip at the minute.
So Remington turning something down because it's not primal and dirty enough. Who would have thought? Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. So, folks, you're not allowed to talk about 40k in the Andy and Rum show chat. So we're not talking about the new Sisters of Battle or any of that nonsense in there. We won't abide that tonight. Let's see. Bazooka Rambo says it's hard to tell. They could be rebased, but he has noticed that GW have painted up whole new sets of models on newer bases before. Yes, they have. With these ones, whether they would bother, I'm not sure. It's a good price, though, that £50 for a set. Any Skaven or Elf fanatics out there probably be all over that.
It was sold out quite quickly, though. I think they're repackaging more at the moment to sell them, but...
Wow, really?
I think they're just emptying an old warehouse at this point.
The old warehouse that has about 3 billion copies of Space Hulk that they release 100 of each Christmas. Say, ooh, we found some more.
Yes.
All you people that bought 5 and are trying to sell them on eBay for £300. Too bad. Okay, let's see. Andreas Goodmanson is 100% sure that 99% of the models are the same. Okay. We'll take his word for it. See, he does have a good eye. Okay, what else have we got going on in here? We've got some more audience members popped in, the likes of Mr. Stu Gibson, of course. And
yes, vote Stu, because we've got the. I'll say that later. Yeah.
Well, we could talk about that now if you want. Of course, we are up for a nomination in multiple Warhammer YouTubers End of Year Awards categories. Although I'm sure they have retained the rule from last year where you could only win one, which is going to, of course, cheat us out of winning up to 3 or 4 awards, like it did last time.
So if you don't know, these awards, every year there's a Google Plus community called Warhammer YouTubers. And if you're not a member of that, it's worth going on there and having a look, join it. And people put up their paint jobs and their battle reports and leak rumors and just gossip and stuff. And if you provide content, like if you make your own videos and put them up on YouTube that are to do with Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar or Ninth Age, then you could be up for an award at the end of the year, which is pretty cool. And it's run by Warhammer Weekly, and different categories like best painted, most consistent content. Which
I've got a problem with one of the categories actually.
Yeah,
which is best battle reports, but they've lumped in Age of Sigmar and Ninth Age together.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Then. I think I might get beaten to the post there by some Ninth Age battle reporter that's got thousands of rabid competitive fans that are going to vote for them.
Yeah, that's kind of. I should have separated that for sure. Do you think Age of Sigmar battle reports are not as good then?
I think mine are. I don't know about everyone else. They lean towards the narrative side. I've noticed people's Age of Sigmar battle reports. There are a couple of the more competitive ones out there, with your MC1 gamers of the world to put a more competitive slant on it. But even he dips his toe into narrative as well, doesn't he?
Yep. And then there's other ones like best content, best AOS content is another one. Most thought provoking. So, that could be people. Hobby advice, another one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we'd fit in on that one. I'm not sure the Remington Roller is really going to win us an award there.
I thought they'd put best song on a Wargaming channel. I thought that
the problem is we would just win that, and that would be their way of keeping us away from the real awards. They'd just give us that one.
Mickey nominated The Porkening for Best Bat Rap.
How about that?
It's definitely the best series.
Yes.
That's great.
I'm pretty sure that's going to win. MC1 Gamer agrees keep Ninth Age and Age of Sigmar separate.
We could
I don't know whose harebrained idea it was. Right. Retropia TV, the Long War is putting on a huge offensive for the voting. I think our content speaks for itself. I don't think we need to spend hours and hours telling people to vote. I think they already know what they have to do. As soon as that voting document went up, I think it's like a signal went up in the sky. We didn't have to manually put it there. It's just ingrained in people's minds from watching this show enough. Whenever it's like a call to action that we don't have to. We don't have to do anything to actually enable it ourselves. It's like what would be like the Beastmen or the Orc equivalent of that. It's like an Orc Warg that we don't have to summon up. It's just fighting alongside us, but we don't need to actually manually control it.
Yes.
It's been a funny year, hasn't it? Because the community sort of, I wouldn't say fractured. It may be fractured at the start, but now it's sort of splintered and turned into...
Yeah, everyone is doing their own thing, it feels like. Yeah. It's just like... everyone kind of settled in. Everything became a bit more peaceful, and people are just like doing what they want to do.
Yeah,
within their interests. So
like different coloured Skittles.
Yes.
Yes. Different coloured Skittles, spoken by the man who demands that all the Skittles and M&Ms that are left in his dressing room are of the same colour.
Well, one of them's got more E numbers than the other, so you want to avoid the red ones, and the yellow ones.
What kind of rock star avoids anything potentially mind-altering before going on stage?
Well, it depends, because it might just offset the other mind-altering drugs you're taking.
Who said anything about drugs? I wouldn't.
Not me. I didn't mean that. Pharmaceutical only is what I meant.
Excellent. I'm sure that's exactly what you were talking about.
So, what have you got? What else you got for us, Andy?
Well, we have got plenty of juicy segments tonight in the chocolate orange that everyone enjoys for Christmas.
Yeah.
Shall we just go straight to your favourite one?
Well, yeah. What you got there?
We've got... What the hell is that? Christmas edition.
Yes.
Have you got a nice festive slant on the What the Hell Is That song, perhaps?
Yeah. What the hell is that? 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 Only Andy and Remington know. What the hell is that? 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 Only Andy and Remington know.
I'm not sure how that song was festive exactly. But here you go, folks. It's a wonderful Christmas scene with Rudolph and what is presumably an elf who doesn't have pointy ears. So he's like some fraudulent elf. And they have been adorned. Usually you'd expect some kind of brutal wargaming scene, an epic battle to be adorned with Christmas ornaments and tinsel and so on. But we've gone the opposite route. We've taken a traditional Christmas scene and covered it from head to toe in banner tops from the Age of Sigmar range. 4 miniatures are represented here. You can give us the current name of them, or in a couple of cases you could give us their previous names, which were quite distinctive for 1 or 2 of them. 4 of them, if anyone can get all 4, you will be the grand winner. And if no one gets it in the next couple of minutes, then we'll lower that threshold down to 3 probably. So come on, get those guesses in, folks.
I'm sure I've painted one of those. Yeah, I've definitely painted one of those before.
A red-nosed reindeer?
No, the little beaver totem thing on the top. It's good.
The beaver totem?
Yeah. I've done a little beaver.
Why can I imagine you having one of those up in your house?
No, I've definitely done one of them little beavers before, yeah.
What's
so funny?
Okay, so we've actually had our first guess in here. So, Fluffy Dread. It says Skaven Warlord banner, Phoenix Guard banner, Heinrich Kemmler Leechmaster or Leechmaster staff top, Beastman Shaman top. Well, I can tell you that you have got one of those right. No, 2 of those actually. 2 points there for Fluffy Dread. Okay, who's up next? We've got Mini Warrior, Skaven Warlord, Heinrich, Neferata, Goblin Shaman. I'm going to give you 3 points for that.
Why does the elf has like a butthole for a mouse though? That's weird.
I don't know what's going on there. That is kind of butthole-ish, isn't it, that mouth?
Maybe it's a Slanesh elf.
Is that how Slanesh elves are defined, with having buttholes for mouths?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if you want to continue this particular conversation. But
maybe we'll save that for an after-show special on Rem's channel.
Yes. I would have multiple things to say about it, but I won't right now. For the sake of maybe children watching.
Your channel is the place to be for kind of butthole content, though, isn't it? With that review of those pigs that you did.
Yes, it's my highly rated video. It's the highest watched video on my channel. Actually not. I don't know what it is. But
it should be.
Yes.
Okay, we've got some more guesses here. This is from I don't think, have we done Rob Lloyd's suite yet? With the Grotto Shaman staff, Skaven Warlord banner, Phoenix Guard banner, Heinrich Kemmler. That is 3 points.
Nice.
Let's see. We've got another guess here from Mickey Genver, but this is just a series of dead animals, so I don't think it's really a guess. Fluffy Dreads, Skaven Warlord, Heinrich Kemmler, Phoenix Guard, Goblin Shaman. 3 points again. There's one that's catching people out here, apparently. They're just not getting it. Come on, folks. Are we going to have to lower the threshold to 3 if no one's going to get it? In which case, who was the first one to get 3? Let's see here. I think it was Mini Warrior. So unless anyone can identify the 4th, then Mini Warrior is going to reign supreme.
Which one is the 4th, Andy?
Well, I can tell you right now that people have successfully identified all but the Elf's belt buckle.
Oh.
It looks like Camry something. Golden Bird or High Elf.
Definitely High Elf, I'd say.
The guests that we've had so far have pretty much all been Phoenix Guard, but I can tell you right now, it is not a Phoenix Guard staff.
A hero?
It might well be. Come on, folks. Someone's got to be scouring the GW website. Oh, we've got another guess here. Jamie Bates says Heinrich Kemmler staff, Skaven Warlord back banner, High Elf Prince banner top, and Goblin Shaman staff. You know what? I am going to give it to Jamie Bates. A round of applause there, perhaps?
Da, 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 da. Congratulations! You win.
So let's have a look, just to confirm here. So, High Elf. There we go.
Very good.
Look at that mighty golden bird.
Oh, yeah.
Then we've got the Skaven Warlord. We've got the Grot Shaman, or Goblin Shaman.
With Beaver.
Yes. Then we've got Mr. Heinrich Kemmler, who is a force to be reckoned with in Total War Warhammer, even though I kept getting him assassinated repeatedly by my enemies.
What's his special powers then?
He's just really good at casting spells, which is quite annoying because I don't like the whole micromanagement aspect of casting spells. I'd rather just fight and kick people's butts that way.
Oh, I like the micromanaging. You do have to put it on slow speed, though, if it's an important battle, I find.
Is that legitimate slow speed, or are you just using some kind of mind-altering substances to kind of slow down time around you?
Think if I could slow down time in real life. That'd be pretty cool.
What would you do if you could slow down time?
If I could
break into GWHQ and have a look around?
I don't know. Would it be that interesting, really? Probably
Cheat
not.
at tournaments a lot.
Yeah, if you're on a timed tournament, for example, you could spend much longer than your opponent.
Yeah, you could. Or you could rob a bank.
You could, but you would be captured on video because you're only slowing down time. You're not completely stopping it.
No, but
so
when
you'd
they
be captured on video, but like only every 10th frame.
Wouldn't I just look like a blur? Or, you know?
I don't know. It depends if you start singing in there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Is this like the end of the year show? Or is there another one before that?
Well, I think this is going to be the last one of the year, actually.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you, and the people listening, is there like anything you really liked on this show this year that you'd like us to do again, or anything you'd never want us to do again?
Yeah, how much of a gap, basically, do you want until once we've finished with the Forest of REM? How much time off do you want before we head into season 2 is what we're really saying.
I know a lot of people were like just going crazy about the my think tank, which was, if you don't know, that was me inventing Warhammer stuff. It kind of got a bit scuppered and a bit sabotaged. People kept ripping off the ideas, like the Woodsman whitewash that I put together, or the little like a finger dabber brush thing.
The Remington finger sponge and the Remington roller.
Yeah, both the roller and the sponge, they were pretty phenomenal. both multi-million pound ideas, so many uses. And I can't remember there's so many going round. I'd have to look back on the vids, but people want more of that. But I don't know if I can take being ripped off anymore.
Well, Josh Joyce wants the Desert of REM next, apparently.
The Desert of REM. Is it desert or is it dessert of REM?
Could be the dessert. Like some ice cream.
That could be quite interesting with some undead, you know. Could go to the Khemri pyramid deserts. Sands.
Yeah, you could accidentally cave in skulls and not spill guts and flesh everywhere for a change.
Would I be able to like keep my character, or would I have to start again as like a naked?
Well, that depends if you get yourself killed before the conclusion of this adventure, doesn't it?
Would I be vanilla Rem? Totally purged of my afflictions and mutations.
Vanilla Rem, the rap artist, is something we don't need to hear.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, Andy owns one CD, which when I gave him a lift to Warhammer World this year, he brought it with him and made me listen to it. Want to know what it was?
I think they do.
No, it wasn't Rolf Harris, but you're close.
I know what it is.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's not the theme tune to The Fall Guy. It is. I can't even remember. It was really bad, though. I just was talking to you throughout the whole thing, so I wouldn't have to listen to it.
I've heard other people complaining about that CD in the past, so...
It is the first album of Steven Seagal.
Oh, that's
and his band Thunderbox.
Do you know the song titles even?
The CD is called Mojo Priest.
Mojo Priest. That's a wicked name, man.
Mojo and it has the songs have excellent titles, including Alligator Ass.
Alligator Ass. What's an alligator ass? Is that someone with a real tough batty?
I don't really know, because every single song is pretty much the same. It's just kind of him saying, I woke up this morning, and then backing singers coming in and like, he woke up this morning.
Does he do guitar solos?
He does play an instrument on there.
That's pretty cool.
You actually were surprised that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, if I recall.
When I was on tour, I've been all throughout Europe, I'd see posters up at various venues for Steven Seagal. And I always used to want to take them down for a laugh and just frame them and stuff. But yeah, it was actually real. But you know who's which actor is making a big waves in the rock world? You never guess.
David Hasselhoff.
No, I know he's big over there in Germany, isn't he? But he's not really big for his music anywhere else.
I think he was back in the 90s with Knight Rider, but no one remembers.
Knight Rider's brilliant. No, it was brilliant. But his theme, he's got one really good song, hasn't he, David Hasselhoff? It's a real...
Yeah, so what something freedom, looking for freedom. I think it's his only song.
Freedom! A bit like that. And Germans just love it. I don't know. But it's Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is in a band with Alice Cooper, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, and another guy who can't remember. But yeah, they're headlining a bunch of festivals. Johnny Depp is playing guitar. So look out for that one.
He has done a lot of things in his life.
That's right.
Not surprised.
From a pirate to being a guitar bandit.
Now, before we get to the main event of the show, which is obviously the Forest of REM, with this being the final show of the year, reflecting back, what are some of our fondest Age of Sigmar memories? I know you have to cast your mind back pretty far to remember the last time we actually had a release for Age of Sigmar. I think it's been like 6 months since we had anything substantial. But if you can cast your mind back that far, what are some of your fondest memories throughout this year, Age of Sigmar related? From the Fire Slayers onwards, pretty much.
Ooh.
And the Silver Tower, of course, was among them.
Just release-wise?
So release-wise or content-wise, anything?
Fire Slayers was really good, but it was also the most disappointing in another way because it was too expensive for what you actually got.
They haven't done a bargain box yet for the Fire Slayers.
No.
Yes, for some weird reason.
Yeah, I got really excited about Seraphon, but I didn't actually buy the box because for £50 you could get, a Carnosaur, some lizard riders, and some not Temple Guard, but some lizard men, Saurus warriors, all £50. And previously, the Carnosaur alone was £50. So I was really excited because things were getting cheaper. You can get more for your money, which I think is the best thing this year about Game.
Yeah, it's always good. It's true. I think the most fun I had this year with AOS were the Porkening battle reports, I think. Just because they were so nuts. Like, they're really exhausting to set up because they're all hangout battle reports, but they're a lot of fun. And the stuff almost never goes how we plan it.
They're fun, apart from the editing stage, obviously.
Oh, yeah. It gets better, though. It's not like 6 hours anymore, mostly.
Yeah, the first couple of games did take about 6 hours each to edit because we weren't filming it in a way that was really efficient.
Streamlined, yeah.
Yeah. We were kind of filming little bits, like stopping mid-sentence and then carrying on, and it was all a bit of a mess, but we've got it down to a fine art now. So now it only takes about 3 or 4 hours editing instead.
Brimstone, not Brimstone. What am I? Fluffy Dread says the the General's Handbook was the best release of 2016. I'd have to disagree.
It was a good release. It was one of the highlights of the releases.
I only read a couple of pages of it.
But it did certainly bring a lot of people back into the fold, or made their interest in Age of Sigmar stronger with the point values being added. That was the main thing. I think the other forms of play people aren't really so concerned about. It's just those points that people wanted.
Well, we just went straight to the back and looked at the points. So
that's what I've done. I've barely looked at the rest of it.
No,
I looked through it. It's a nice book, but it's really just the side effect of being able to play with people again that I wasn't able to play with anymore after Age of Sigmar came out. So just because of that, it's, I think, the most exciting release for me because it brings the people back.
So it's what it signified rather than the actual thing.
Yes.
The actual product. But they're bringing out another one, aren't they? So the one I've only read a couple of pages of is going to be obsolete really soon anyway.
Yeah, it's cheap enough, so if they update it every year, it's not a huge investment to buy it again.
Yeah, it should be all right. New scenarios, new lists for the what was it? Where you have like a war band and its growth. I forgot what it's called.
Campaigns.
Not the campaigns where you like randomly roll what you get in your war band next, and the path to glory. There we go. Because not all races have a list for that at this point.
Josh Joyce says, I discovered the Andean REM show about 12 months ago, so that was my favourite thing this year. Isn't that sweet?
That's so cool, man.
That is maybe the greatest Christmas present of all.
Wonder how they found out about it. How do people find out about this show?
I think word of mouth, maybe being at some A-list celebrity pool parties over glasses of champagne and caviar. It's one of the main topics of discussion.
Talking about A-listers, my favourite moment of the Warhammer year and the Andean REM show year was probably when we did the first REMCon / Andy Palooza, and I took a photo of Andy as he arrived in Bugman's bar to
rapturous ovation.
I actually captured that moment on camera. So I'm going to just find that moment because it's so worth sharing again.
Oh dear. And you know what happens when Mr. Remington is digging through his files? You know, he keeps every single file in his computer in one single folder. So you could have absolutely anything in there.
How do you look at the pictures on this page? Do you have to scroll down?
Scrolling? What is this madness? Back in my day, we just clicked to the next page.
Oh, I've got albums here. Right, you're in for trouble now because I've got...
Oh dear.
I've got photos up. Don't know how to get...
And I can't even hide his screen at the moment because there's 3 people in here, so you're always going to be able to see it at the bottom no matter what he's doing.
Oh, can you see my screen? No, you can just see me, right? Bloody hell, there's some brilliant pictures on here. I need to look at this more often. Wow!
How many people showed up? Was it like 2, 3?
Well, there were supposed to be 2 people that we were going to play a game with. One of them couldn't make it, but then someone who was there just by chance happened across us and recognised us as the A-list celebrities that we are and filled in during the game.
So we had a 2-on-2 battle, which is pretty cool.
It was a classic. And it did feature Cecil the Magical Unicorn, of course.
It was completely unfair as well, but regardless, it was really good.
Well, you would say that. Says Mr. Remington, who insists on sending his giant through a realm gate at the start of every game and rolling one.
I found a picture of Andy eating a Bugman's burger with and the burger's just really dry with no lettuce, tomato, no frills, so to speak.
We can't actually see what you're showing us at the moment.
Oh, okay. What I can show you is the picture I've just found. Oh my God, look at your hair. Your hair's amazing. All right, this is going to shock some viewers. Get
my luscious locks before the charity haircut.
Oh, my days. Are you ready? Pressing screen share.
Uh-oh. This is always a terrifying moment when Remington's in town.
Do I share my entire screen?
Yes.
That's probably not something you should ever do.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. You're watching me, watching you, watching me.
Yes, you can just see everything he's doing on his computer right now. Look at my hair.
Andy,
look at that, man. Look at that kind of crazy mad professor hairstyle that's going on there.
But look at the rapturous welcome he got from Bugman's bar.
That was because we asked them to escort everyone else off the premises so we could have it to ourselves.
That's phenomenal, man. I love that picture. Oh, did I just make it big? Yes, why not? Look at his face.
Just look like out of some like 70s trash movie like Troll or something.
Yeah. So that was good. It's just great just seeing how renowned we are. And then I got into, I wouldn't call it an argument, but I got into a heated discussion with one of the Warhammer World staff, and I've really tried to get information out of him. So look, you can see in the other room, this is me at RemCon. You can see this obviously quite well attended. And the previous one was, of course, Andy Palooza's disaster of a competition, I guess you could call it. It's Andy eating a burger. That was fun to watch. There you go. No.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Flat Coke there as well.
Evidence that I do actually eat food there, of course.
Now there was a guy sat to your right, and you kind of whispered to me. He said, "That's that guy. That's some famous guy." I think he was like.
There were a few famous guys in there. That is generally where the staff eat.
I was laughing because you would like say hello to them, and then they'd completely blank you.
I didn't say hello to anybody in there. People say hello to us.
Oh look, we've got some fabulous. We had some fabulous guests this year. Look at that. We've had Amy Snugsy, the Snugster. There, that was cool. What else were we going to show you? Some really cool.
That's a
cool
picture
stuff
of
here.
Andy's bald head. If you turn that around and put it like on its head, it actually looks like t-shirts cleavage with like a bit of like chest hair.
That's pretty cool. Who's that? Wow.
Remington rolling 3 1s. Before seeing that.
So, look at this. We've got some fantastic artwork, haven't we, Andy? You did brilliantly. Look at that.
My Photoshop skills know no bounds.
Yes, high quality shops.
Yes. I think we look like a good
Yeah, that was my
team there.
birthday bash special.
Dreddy's a berserker there. Andy's sort of look a bit wild-eyed and a bit scared. And I'm just at the back ready to club someone with a double-handed warhammer. Like it. And look at these. I think this might be Reme Tremblay. I might be wrong. But
Also part of the REM family.
Yeah, Reme Tremblay. That's his Silver Tower stuff. But yeah, if you go onto the Andy and Rem Facebook page, I've never done this before, man. Go onto the photo bit, and there's some wicked pictures.
It's the end of the year, and you're just now discovering this.
This is so cool. And these halflings. Oh, my days. Who did the halflings? Can you all see this? How good are they?
We certainly can.
They haven't completely given up on halflings. There's a halfling chef for Blood Bowl now, isn't there? That's pretty cool. That's Andy with the new mystery figure that we found out was just another Stormcast model. That happened a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, but everybody loves Stormcast.
Yeah. People are putting back reports. I won't be much longer because I just want to show you some pictures which I didn't notice before, but they're flipping.
This is like a voyage of discovery going on here, and we're just along for the ride.
It's like when you got someone round your house and that you're showing them the photo album they don't want to see. These are pretty cool. This is like some battle report, undead altar sacrifice.
What he's getting at is that there's lots of cool stuff on the Andy and Rim Show Facebook groups. If you're not a member, you should be, and you should click join right now. And maybe even you'll be accepted before the end of the show, possibly.
Maybe this was like a Forest of Rem tribute. I didn't even see it. But it looks like a branch wraith is being sacrificed. It's kind of cool. Look at that.
Well, folks, while Mr. Remington's continuing his voyage of self-discovery, I'd like to introduce you to Nigel the Christmas Badger.
Hello there. My name's Nigel. I'm a Christmas badger. I spread Christmas cheer. Unlike Mr. Remington, he's an awful Scrooge.
Anyone who has any questions for Nigel the Christmas Badger, drop them in the chat right now. Have you finished now, Mr. Remington?
Oh, yes, I have finished. How very dare you? How very dare you? I've been so kind to you, Andy.
Well, if I'm going to pay good money to get a celebrity badger guest on the show, then we've got to give him some airtime at least.
The only thing I've gotten off you, right, is 3 vampires from the, the Vampire Counts, Mortis engine.
Coven Throne, yeah.
Coven Throne that you didn't want.
There's a battle mat sitting here waiting for you to come and collect it.
Yeah, but you won't post it because you say it's too expensive to post it.
It costs more than the price of an actual battle mat almost to post it.
I've got to spend £50 to drive up to you to collect it.
But you're spending that good money to come up here to play a couple of games as well.
Yeah, you get more value out of it.
Yeah.
You could post yourself up here, probably, for as cheap as that battle mat.
You know, they're still talking about beavers in the chat.
I'm not surprised.
I expected them to. I should actually open the chat again.
Dice Miniature Paint Guy wants to know how to paint with the badger. Well, it's a bit of a sore subject for Nigel the Christmas Badger, because many of his relatives were actually turned into badger airbrushes. So, I wouldn't bring that one up. Okay, are we ready for the main event?
Oh, we're so ready for this. This is like the culmination.
Are we ready?
Months of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, this could potentially be, unless Remington does something ridiculously terrible, this could well be the season finale of dun 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 the Forest of REM.
There was a time when Remington had friends. There was a time when Remington... I can't remember what rhymes with friends, but it goes in the Forest of REM, in the Forest of REM, where boys become men in the Forest of REM, in the Forest of REM, in the Forest of Men. We're reaching the end of the Forest of REM, in the Forest of REM. We're reaching the end in the Forest of REM. What will happen next in the Forest of REM? Boys become men in the Forest of REM.
Bum, 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 bum. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who's been with us, it has been an epic journey that has spanned many, many weeks. As you may remember, young Master Remington woke up naked, alone, by a corpse, freshly mangled corpse at that. Turned out to be his old mentor, left him only with a mandolin and some mysterious artifacts. And Mr. Remington, of course, went off on his grand adventure, attempting to uncover answers, but all he really found was that he had a knack for accidentally caving in the skull of everyone he found who could potentially give him any clues as to where the story was heading. So because of all that bloodshed and carnage, he's found himself the target of the Chaos Gods. And at the moment, Mr. Remington has been blessed with the boon of 3 of those gods. He is a champion of Slaanesh, which has bestowed him with the mighty flesh wand in place of his big toe. He has been blessed by Tzeentch, who has granted him a chirping, talking bird head sprouting out of his arm, and he has been partially blessed by Khorne, who has given him a tiny, rather unimpressive forehead horn. The only location left on the Remington map for him to fulfill his destiny is, of course, the cave, which he has been working his way towards on his new mount, Cecil the Magical Unicorn, who, of course, in the last couple of weeks used his magical horn juice to good effect, spraying rejuvenating juices over people, giants, pygmies, causing them to sprout excess of danglage, among many other wonderful side effects, some good, some not so good. So, Mr. Remington, on your quest for the cave, I'm going to ask you to roll a dice right now to see how eventful the final leg of your journey is before you reach the cave entrance.
Now, I've put away the skull dice, the Remington dice, that didn't bring me any luck. And I've installed an app.
Is it a different app, or is it the same one that kept rolling 4s?
Yes, it's called the Dice Roller. Okay, here we go. And it makes a nice little sound as well. So I've got to roll a dice. Here's the app. Here we go. Remington! It's a 2.
Remington slips and dies. No, he doesn't. As Master Remington, on the back of his mighty steed, thunders through the undergrowth, not quite tripping and slipping on leaves, although, as he passes under a particularly large tree with branches poking out at strange angles, Cecil the Magical Unicorn rolls an ankle on one of the roots, tumbling to the forest floor yards from the cave entrance. Remington is thrown forth from his steed, and Cecil is clearly incapacitated. It's not going to be fatal, but Cecil seems to be a little bit out of the equation right now. You're going to have to leave him behind for a while, and he's not going to be able to enter the cave with you right now. He needs time to recuperate.
Can I say a prayer to the gods? Perhaps he can meld my mind and body with Cecile. I could become like some kind of centaur.
So you want to potentially become fused with your mighty horn juice spraying mount.
Hey, who wouldn't want a giant horn spewing magical juice?
Well, who wouldn't? Okay, I think you should roll a dice here. If you're going to try and pray to the gods to see what kind of help they're going to offer you in your quest, you're praying to the 3 chaos gods that have bestowed you with their gifts to see if one of them will answer your call.
Okay, let's do this. But I don't want too much of Khorne, and I don't want too much of Tzeentch. I want they've got to work together on this one. So I'm looking at rolling a decent 4. I think that'll be it. A 1 or a 6 might be okay. Remington! It's a 5.
It's a 5. That's not bad at all. Very well. A hole in the forest floor opens up, and young Cecil is lowered down into the depths. Sparks fly out. You can hear the sound of unicorns giggling. Horn juice sprays up in spurts out of the crater. Cecil is then ejected back to the surface on a platform of earth. His ankle seems to be better than ever. In fact, he is now fully battle armored. But it's not any kind of armor. You see, it seems that Slaanesh heard your call, and he has been coated with a layer of protective, pink, veiny flesh. Cecil is wearing full flesh plate.
Flesh plate. Is he happy about it?
He is as happy as one would expect under the circumstances.
Like a piggy in a blanket.
Yeah, so his ankle is healed, so you can now take him with you into the cave.
I shall mount my steed and trot into the cave.
Very well. You notice that the saddle is a little bit more squelchy than before.
I think that'd be quite comfortable. You wouldn't get a sore midriff.
I would imagine you would not. Although if Slaanesh has been crafting armor, I wouldn't want to have too much skin on flesh plate contact with it.
All right. Now, Bazooka J. Rambo is saying toot toot. So that to me says charge. I'm going to just charge, bolt my way through this cave. Let's do it.
Charge straight into this cave that's just a wall of black.
Yeah.
You don't know what's inside. There's no light at all. Okay, then you're going to have to roll the dice if you're charging headlong into the night.
I'm going to be like, hi-ho, Cecile. Remington! It's a 5.
It's a 5, that's pretty good. Cecil charges headlong into the darkness. As you enter the cave, your eyes grow accustomed to the lack of light, and you start to make out strange shapes, some of them moving in the distance. You can't quite make out what any of them are. As you continue to charge, it seems like you're not really getting anywhere. And then you notice that Cecil's mighty hooves, in their flesh plate, have been ensnared almost in thick, gooey substance on the ground of the cave. How will you proceed? Will you hop down from your mount? Will you attempt to illuminate the area?
I think whenever you're encountering new experiences like this, it's always good to give it a good sniff.
You're going to sniff the air?
No, sniff the ground, you know?
So you can hop down from your mount and sniff the ground?
Yeah. Because I can check. It might even be edible. You know,
Okay.
who knows?
You hop down from your mount, and you don't even need to roll for this one. It smells really bad, and you almost vomit.
Ah.
It smells like a combination of rotting flesh and a Sasquatch's toenail clippings.
Now, my first instinct is to burn it.
How will you burn it? Will you perhaps start a fire with splinters of mandolin?
No, I don't like splinters. Splinters are a bad thing if you're a guitarist. So maybe I'll hold back from setting it on fire, and I will continue towards the light.
Well, there is no light at the moment.
Okay. I shall continue towards the darkness.
Continue into the black.
Into the black.
Very well. You walk very slowly forwards because your feet are kind of squelching along the ground until a tiny face is illuminated several yards to your side. It seems to be holding a little torch aloft. It's quite a cheeky little face. And it leans out with one little finger and beckons you towards it. What do you do?
I think I shall do like a model strut towards him, you know?
Okay, you attempt to strut as graciously as you can towards him. You're going to have to roll the dice, though, because the floor is quite difficult to navigate still.
Remington! It's a 6! Yeah!
It's a 6. You successfully bound towards him in one giant leap. However, as he raises his torch, you realize that this is not just one face. This is a myriad of faces in one grotesque mound. The tiny torch reaches a huge, gaping, hideous opening with foul stenches billowing forth from it, ooze dripping down it. This creature addresses you. And we turn things over to our special guest, Dreddy, to provide the beast.
What are you laughing at? It's not funny. Do you even know who I am? Do you know it?
You like a gargoyle dog?
I'm not a gargoyle. I'm the great unclean one. My name is Krustival Krankenwurst. And I am known in all the lands for my glorious, plump and succulent hemorrhoids that hang from me like grapes ready to be harvested.
Oh, you're really quite cute. Oh my god, your eyes just moved.
Yes, it's quite hard to move my eyes, so it's a bit hard. I can't do it all the time, so anyway.
Are you like a floating head then? Or are you stuck to the wall?
Yeah, I'm kind of made into this place since I live here. It's great. I have everything I need. I have my goo, and I have my my hemorrhoid fruits that I nourish myself on. And you want to try one? You just pluck one right off. If you want to try one.
I'm gonna pluck a hemorrhoid fruit and taste it. Well,
okay, you're gonna have to roll the dice here because this is quite tricky.
This is like something out of Bear Grylls, Survivor. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pluck a hemorrhoid fruit from the Gestinkting Gargle. Here we go. And it's a 3.
It's a 3. Oh, that's pretty average. You successfully pluck the succulent fruit that is dangling from one of the many flesh folds of the Great Unclean One's rear end. You move it to your lips and take a bite, and it bursts, filling your mouth with the succulent yet putrid liquid.
Did you say? What did you say? You just said he was a great unclean one.
Yes, I am one of the great demons of Nurgle. And you just tasted one of my sweet fruits, which means
that's a bad thing, right?
No, you have accepted the great challenge that I am here to challenge you to. Are you ready for my challenge?
Is it a game of bowling? Maybe I could use you as a bowling ball.
He's a pretty big bowling
ball.
No,
I'm too big. I'm really big. Just imagine I'm really, really big.
He's towering over you.
Okay, Papa Nurgle, I'll play your game.
So it will be a burping contest. Whoever can burp the mightiest will win this competition.
Who's the competition against?
Me.
Oh,
and then he burps really loud. He goes like blah.
Okay, but I have to warn you, about 5 minutes ago, I was slightly sick in my mouth.
That's okay. That's a bonus.
I don't think Nurgle would mind that too much.
Okay, I will compete against your burping feats.
Okay, it's your turn to burp.
Now, you have the choice here, Mr. Remington. You can either give us a genuine burp or you can roll the dice.
That was more like a yawn. That was a yawn. That sounded like it came out of a completely different orifice. But...
I'm just getting warmed up.
Okay.
That's pretty gross. I'll try again.
Quite pleasing sounds here.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that worked. That was good.
That's quite successful. The stench of Remington's belch after consuming the sweet, sweet fruit of Nurgle permeates the air, and even the Great Unclean One's nose curls up at its rancid stench.
Oh, that was great. You have passed the first trial.
Oh, cool.
And with that, like, the big unclean one kind of melts away, and only like its giant butt protrudes from the ground, but out of the butt kind of emerges a tad smaller great unclean one. Just like, wow, I am finally free from the butt prison of my brother. And my name is Festius, Demon Werfer.
Wow, that's a cool name.
I can move my eyes a bit easier, but my mouth is not as movable. Anyway, so my challenge will be a peeing contest. Who can pee the fastest? If you can pee out of this cave from here, then you have beaten my challenge.
You have to roll the dice.
Then he just takes a really far pee.
Do I have to do a pee?
Challenge you.
I think you can roll the dice for this one. We don't need to actually see that.
You can just roll the dice. We don't want to have that on camera.
All right.
See how far Mr. Remington can send his mighty stream.
Okay, this is weird. All right, Remington. I should have drank the goo, shouldn't I? Okay, Remington. It's a 6.
Oh my goodness! As Remington stands back, even Cecil would be impressed with the magnitude and the trajectory of the stream that flows forth from Remington's groinal kingdom. the stream reaches the exit of the cave, but it doesn't stop there. It keeps going, knocking down trees for at least half a mile as it travels. The Great Unclean One is taken aback at the awesome power of the stream of Rem.
To make him look surprised, but his mouth doesn't open wide. He's just like, "Oh, that's amazing! Oh, I can't handle it!" Oh. And then he also melts, like, "Oh, he's melting." And then out of his butt, another Great Unclean One protrudes, which is even a bit smaller at this point. Yeah. It's like, and I'm finally free from the butt prison of my brother's butt prison of the other brother. It's great. I'm here, I'm free. My name is Tzeentch Butt Waffle. And you are here for the challenge, I see. I see it with my eyes. It's a really good challenge I have for you. So listen. And then he gets like 2 buckets out behind his back, and he's like, okay, so we will try to fill these buckets with as much puke as we can. Just fill it right up, and who fills it with more puke will win the contest. Okay? And then he just, yes, you have to throw up into the bucket, it's not that hard. And then he throws up into the bucket, like, and then you roll a die, I guess.
Okay.
For how much you puke. Maybe you can help your puking by like eating goo or something off the ground.
Yeah, you could give yourself a bonus to your dice roll if you want to perhaps use your environment to enhance your puking abilities.
No, I don't trust that stuff. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go natural with this one.
Right, go for it.
Here we go. Remington. It's a 5.
That's pretty damn good. Remington spews forth streams and streams of vomit into the buckets, filling them. It steams and bubbles into the air, and it appears that Remington has filled his bucket slightly higher than the Great Unclean One, who is shocked.
Oh, I am very impressed. Oh, and it looks so delicious. Oh, and then it takes the bucket and just drinks it right up. And then it's just melting like the other ones. It's like, I am melting. No. Oh, why is there weird plastic stuff inside of me? And then it melts. And then out of its butt comes a very tiny little, tiny unclean one. It's like, hi, my name is, I don't know what my name is. I'm just really tiny. And I was trapped in there for so long, I have forgotten my name. My true name, it was horrible.
He's about the size of a Remington finger sponge, this one.
Ah.
Yes. I'm really tiny. Anyway, I'm the last in your challenge. And my challenge will be, who can produce and eat the most boogers within, within a minute. That's the booger eating commence. Then he starts eating his own boogers.
I've had enough of this little one, these Great Clean One or little cream cracker thing. I'm just gonna after he's eaten his own bogies, I'm just gonna say, right, I'm just gonna pick him out of the air and squish him.
Roll the dice.
Oh.
Remington. It's a 2.
Oh, that's not
good.
Very good.
No, that's good.
As you pick him up in your hand, you attempt to squish him, but he's so nurgly and juicy and slimy that he kind of spills out between all your fingers and starts crawling up your tunic sleeve in towards your armpit, where he latches on.
Trying to cheat, I see, but you can't cheat from the challenge of the booger feast. The boogers have to be devoured. So get on it.
Do you have another course of action, Mr. Remington?
Another what?
Do you have another potential course of action that you could use to counteract this menace?
Can I pop him in my mouth?
You want to try and grab him from your armpit and put him in your mouth and have a chew on him?
Yeah, definitely. That could work.
Okay, roll the dice.
All right. I'm just going to hold my nose while I do that so I don't taste it. Remington! It's a 3. That's pretty good.
It's not bad. As Remington places what appears to be a nurgling in his mouth and chomps down on it, putrid juices dribble down Mr. Remington's chin, and he's clearly been bitten completely in half. And on a technicality, Remington has actually eaten everything that the nurgling just ate. So technically, I think he's the winner.
Da, 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 da. Yeah,
The nurgling's face is still alive, though, if it wants to congratulate him.
No, it has been. I just actually ate it, and there was a lot of dust on it, and I regret my decision.
This is very fascinating. It's like revealing your innermost thoughts, Teddy. Interesting.
With this, the ground swells and opens up, slime bubbles up, and a face emerges from the ground, and it addresses you. Remington, you are my champion. And with that, you start to feel strange. You look down, and you see, through the gap at the top of your tunic, one of the Remington nipples starts to bulge and pulsate. It is suddenly replaced with a mighty pustule. You recognize it immediately as a pustule from fables you had heard as a child. It is the everlasting pustule of Nurgle. No matter how many times it's popped, it will return. You have been blessed, and you are now the champion of Nurgle, Mr. Remington.
Dun, dun, dun.
And with that, the cave vanishes. The clouds part, and a voice booms down from seemingly the heavens. Remington, you have been blessed with the boon of Nurgle, Khorne, Slaanesh, and Tzeentch. You were once merely Remington. Now rise, Remington the Ever-Chosen.
Wow.
Storm clouds fill the sky. Lightning bolts filter throughout.
I know what I must do. It's so clear to me. I'm going to call upon the gods to take me to the halls of Sigmar.
You turn around.
Cause chaos.
You see that Cecil the Magical Unicorn, your trusted mount, has started to mutate. He has grown additional heads from his shoulders. He has sprouted wings. No longer is he a mere unicorn. He now appears to be some kind of hideous, deformed chimera. He walks up alongside you, allowing you to take your seat on his back. And he flaps his wings, taking off into the skies. The Chaos Gods have granted your wish as you are carried towards the heavens. Your chimera lets out a battle cry. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! As Remington the Ever-Chosen enters the celestial realms.
Oh, yes.
That is the end of Season 1 of the Forest of REM. And what a cliffhanger to leave it on, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done, guys. That was fantastic. We lost about 10 viewers, but it was I loved it.
Someone said it was a little too much for them and had to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really creepy puppets, the Boglins. It's a bit like playing with like therapeutic puppets, where you just like let out your inner feelings or something.
Oh, great. That was really good, man. I'm stoked. I'm all like kitted out to take on those bloody golden warriors.
How do you feel about your slow descent into chaos throughout this adventure, which has now been concluded with you becoming Remington the Ever-Chosen?
Pardon?
How do you feel?
That feels great, man.
Do you feel powerful?
I feel well up to taking on your Vander's hammer hands and your whatnots and your bloody, guys with the lanterns and the wings. No problemo.
Well, for anyone who's been a complete lover of the Forest of REM, you'll be pleased to hear that the complete season of the Forest of REM is going to be available as a separate video, which I've been working on. I just need to tack this bit onto the end, and then it'll be done. Then that's going to be uploaded, so you can watch the entire thing without having to trouble yourself watching the rest of the shows. I'm sure people are going to be enjoying that for years to come.
Will there be a Blu-ray release?
There may well be, if it goes well. We may have to change one or two of the names if we want to have any kind of official merchandising.
There's a question for Rem here in the chat from Josh Joyce, just move. Remington, I started my PGCE teacher training this September, and I'm finding I have no time to paint and play at all. How do you find time?
It's a great question. And my answer, Josh, is this. Don't have children. Don't have a girlfriend. Live at home with your parents and devote all your time to planning lessons and doing your essays and doing your research. And in between all that, well, I managed to complete Dragon Age The Awakenings and paint an ogre army. So that's the challenge, my friend. You can do it, but you just can't have a life.
You got to prioritize, and I assume you can't have too much sleep. If you sleep for 12 hours a day, you'll have time for nothing in those circumstances.
It's bloody. He's doing a teacher training course, and it's really flipping hard because you're just unleashed into a school. There you go. Plan that, and you're getting watched all the time. Your every move is being judged, and
much like this show.
It's really, really tough. But if you can get through that year, you'll be a good teacher, man. Just make sure you don't go to a school like I did. It's really, really hard, where the kids don't really care about what you have to say.
Well, I think there's one final thing that we have to look at for this year. And that is some of the wonderful paint jobs that people have been posting in the Facebook group. So let's start off here, shall we? With Power Chord. And look at this guy. That's some nice transition of colour there on the horn.
Yeah, I like the gradient from the black to the blue. It's nice.
Very subtle. And the nice eyeball and the stuff there as well. I think Duncan recently did a video on painting like eyeballs on armour and stuff, didn't he? Nice snow basing there. This is from Mr. MC1 Gamer. With his, I think these are hex wraiths, but they're actually clearly Bretonnian knights that have just been cobbled with pieces of other miniatures as well.
Yes, good old Coelia green shade wash.
It does look very ethereal, doesn't it? It's a nice battle mat there on there as well. He actually put this forward as a potential nominee for What the Hell Is That as well, because he's made it from the parts of so many different miniatures, he didn't think anyone would be able to work it out. So, that's one for the permanent comments, folks. If you can figure out which miniatures Mr. MC1 Gamer used in this conversion without cheating and looking at any of his videos on it, then feel free. Next, this is from Save Roberts, and I'm still not sure if it's supposed to be pronounced Save or like Save or something, but this is a dwarf climbing out of a Christmas ornament.
It's pretty cool. That's from Cyborg Miniatures, I believe.
Yeah, they do a lot of crazy stuff like that.
Yes.
That's wicked. You could do a conversion. You could make that a gyro bomber, couldn't you?
I would love to have one of those on my Christmas tree. Very, very nice. And next, this is from Cameron Thompson. And these are some Warriors of Chaos, of course. I like the blood on there. It's not overdone. Sometimes there's a tendency to go a bit crazy on the blood, isn't there?
Yeah, just dip it in there completely. It's just nice and streaky.
It's a nice colour scheme.
I always thought like the Chaos Warriors were a bit kind of sort of static looking. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did you?
I mean, they're still from the times of rank and file where they had to like fit into each other really closely, so they're all like really tightly holding their weapons and just.
This guy's a decent pose on him, hasn't he?
Yeah. Sigmar is a champion.
Okay, and I think that's the lot, because the only other pictures I have were the answers to the What the Hell Is That?
Oh.
So, look Look at that. How do you feel about your depiction here, Mr. Remington?
I'm a Christmas flasher.
Is that the kind of Santa you would be?
I wouldn't be hiding anything. No, and I wouldn't
You'd be doing a Christmas 360 out in the middle of the street, would you?
360. Did I tell you what a 360 was?
Yes, you did. I don't know if you actually said it live on the show because occasionally children watch this show.
Oh, did I tell you what a 1 in 100 was?
You did, and that's even less suitable for children to hear.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah. Use your imagine. I think I did actually tell someone. I told Mickey Jenver what a 1 in 100 was because she desperately wanted to know.
I'm sure she did, yes.
I think she tried it herself as well.
Who knows? Maybe there's video evidence on Mickey Jenver's channel now, which has all manner of video content on there.
What Dreddy looks amazing on that picture. She looks so happy.
I would just be like the drunk mall Santa.
Yeah, so happy
just like goes nuts at some point and like I don't know.
So happy to have a beard kind of growing out of the like neck area.
Hey,
yeah, it's quite the neck beard.
Hooves of Doom's just entered. Says ho ho ho, and Hooves is doing some awesome stuff, and he's up for an award as well. Well done, Hooves.
Yeah, I'm sub to his channel. I watch the videos. I just don't comment much on YouTube because I don't know. I talk a lot in videos, but I don't comment a lot. The thing.
I think the only thing that remains to be done for this episode now, I think we should each give a heartwarming Christmas message to the community. Who wants to go first? Who's got some words of wisdom to bless the people with to make them feel good about themselves heading into the festive period and on into the new year?
Let's see. I would say like try to slow down a bit like after this year. Just try to slow down for a while. Like, try to make some time for yourself where you can just like relax a bit and take a few miniatures out, get a bit of paint on it. Don't stress yourself about getting them done. Just like do a bit of paint here and there. Listen to like a Warhammer audiobook or a podcast, or rewatch all of the Andy and Rem shows like in a playlist. You can do that while painting.
How many hours would that be? We've done like 80 shows. Like,
it's a lot of hours.
Would be a lot.
Maybe a whole week's worth of permanent viewing.
I've got some advice for people. If you're finding yourself with no time to paint at all, I would say at least once a week, even if you only have 10 minutes to spare, pick up the paintbrush and apply some paint to the miniature once a week, even if you only have 5 or 10 minutes. Once you see that tiny amounts of progress are being made, eventually you'll get into the habit and you'll fall in love with the idea of those tiny little bits of progress coming into play on your miniature until it slowly builds up until it gets done. So even when you have zero time, you think you have no time at all, everyone has 5 minutes in the day, where ordinarily you would just be commenting on YouTube videos or being silly, or those extra 5 minutes that you took eating that piece of food that you could just shove in your mouth and then run over to your painting desk instead. Everyone can spare 5 minutes.
Yes, sounds
definitely.
good.
Even if you're studying a PGCE, the trick is just to condense your time. You know, you can spend an hour and a half planning your lessons, and then once I've done that, then I'm going to do a little bit of painting and watch Game of Thrones at the same time. It's all about multitasking. You know what I mean? Little bits here and there, regular, is a good thing.
And in terms of just the world in general and the people in it, while this year, of course, has been a very, very divisive year for many, many communities the world over, the hobby can bring everyone together. So spread that hobby love throughout the globe. Even Nigel the Christmas Badger agrees with that one.
Is it time for a song?
It is. It's time for you to sing us out, Remington, with something nice and Christmassy.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching our show. Thanks for voting for us. Well, it says Andy on the voting slip, but missed my name off. Just yet another dagger in the heart. But even so, it's a time for forgiveness. It's a time for peace and tranquility. And it's a time to say, we are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. You're saving Remington's life. It's true, you make a brighter day. Be my wife. But only if you're sexy. We are the world. Yeah! We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. Even Andy. There's a choice we're making. You're saving Remington's life. It's true, you make a brighter day just watching this show. We are the world. Ooh, we are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving their own lives. It's true, you make a brighter day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's keep on living.